Hold up. Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Susie Nettle, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
Dimitri Bivol is coming back to face Michael Eifert. Let's talk about it.
Listen, man, I'm going to need y'all to keep the same energy that y'all kept for a number of different fighters, the Canelos of the world, the Artur Beterbievs of the world, so on and so forth. I need you to keep that same energy for Bivol, because when Artur Beterbiev won their first fight, right, him against Bivol, Bivol said, I want my rematch immediately. And guess what happened? He got that rematch immediately. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a little bit of hemming and hawing. There was a little bit because I can't remember the specific injury that Artur Beterbiev had. I believe it was shoulder. Don't quote me on that, but there was an injury that Artur Beterbiev said that he had to get over, and after that, he get a fight. But Bivol got a second chance at the undisputed titles. And in this one, Bivol got the better of Artur Beterbiev. And Artur Beterbiev, just like Bivol, said, I want my rematch immediately. Now, Bivol has been out with a back injury, and they've been hemming and hawing back and forth. But now, it's looking like Bivol is going to be fighting this Mr. Michael Eifert. Now, you may be asking, who is Michael Eifert? I was asking the same thing. So before we jumped on this to do this little bit of a running through of the scenario here, I took a look. 13 wins. None of them notable. I took a look through the name to list to see if there was anyone that I could say, oh, that's a damn good fight. Oh, that's a damn good fight. Not a one. So again, 13 wins. Keep that number in mind. 13. He's being shown on BoxRec as inactive, but we're going to dismiss that. Not very many KOs. Not very many good things to say about this individual. So why are we fighting this no-name instead of fighting the guy that gave you an immediate rematch? Only thing we can say is this is a duck. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest, guy. Bivol was hoping to age out an Artur Beterbiev, hoping that he'll age him out, right? He'll get into his 40s because Artur Beterbiev is already an old guy for a boxer. And hopefully that would diminish some of the power. Hopefully that would diminish some of the abilities that Artur Beterbiev has, right? And now he's just outright ducking him. Now some people will say, oh, well, he had a back injury. Maybe he should get a tune-up. Listen, Artur Beterbiev didn't get a tune-up. Artur Beterbiev gave him the smoke as soon as he was back from the injury. Why is Bivol not doing the same? And listen, for a long time, I actually held Artur Beterbiev as a guy who seemed respectable to me, right? He didn't make excuses for any failings that he may have had. He didn't hem and haw about BS. He said, look, I think I won against Artur Beterbiev, but whatever, the judges saw it how they saw it. Let's run it back. Now he's starting to look like a bitch to me. And why do I say that? Because of this exact instance. How are you going to complain and bitch and moan and say all of these things about Artur Beterbiev, about why you believed you won, so on and so forth, and when he grants you the immediate rematch, you don't grant him the same? Right now, the score is even. 1 win for Artur, 1 win for Dimitri. Why are we not running it back? So I need all you guys to keep the same energy that you guys have had for the Canelo Alvarez, the Artur Beterbiev, when people were saying that he was ducking Bivol. All these different things. I need you guys to keep the same energy for Dimitri. Because there's not one reason why he shouldn't be facing Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev also supposedly had an injury, right? And as soon as that injury was resolved via his surgery, the first person you ran it back with was Dimitri Bivol. So why are we making excuses for this man? I no longer view Dimitri Bivol as honorable, as the man, so on and so forth, because now you're running to somebody, and all due respect to Michael Eifert, not any sort of a notable record. He has a 38% KO ratio, so not great. No good names on his resume. Very mediocre boxing career thus far. Losses on his record, so on and so on and so on. I could go on. Why are we facing this guy? There's nothing wrong with the tune-up if you've been out of the ring for a while. Let's get that out of the way. I have no problem with fighters taking tune-ups. But Artur Beterbiev didn't do that. So why are we going to make any sort of excuses for Dimitri Bivol? Dimitri Bivol, because of this scenario, in my eyes, is a punk. You're going to bitch and moan and ask to get what you feel you deserve, but then when someone does the same under the exact same circumstances as you're going to bitch out on them and not give them man, especially because, again, let's be honest, he's been trying to age out Artur Beterbiev. So now here come the excuses. I don't want to hear anybody stand up for this guy. It's a bitch move, in my opinion. Fight the man that gave you a chance after he beat you. Because let's be honest, realistically, Artur Beterbiev, apart from the contract, had no reason to fight you. He beat you, whether you like it or not. Some people will say, oh no, Bivol won that. He was just trying to correct it. Doesn't matter what you believe. What happened, who held the titles after the first match, was Artur Beterbiev. So why not run it back? Why not give the man the same respect he gave you when he gave you a title shot? I'm not here for it. It's BS. Let's call it what it is. It's an outright duck of a guy who's been trying to age out. What do you think about that, my man?
Listen, I can already envision that somebody is going to accuse us of not being exactly consistent because given one of our last videos that we did, which Canelo Alvarez did have a supposed mandatory fight with the IBF. Again, the same organization that's trying to put the same fire to the ass of a Dimitri Bivol. And one of them took the bait. Somebody was like, well, why didn't you give Canelo any sort of pass, or why'd you give Canelo a pass for not taking up the mandatory for IBF, but you're putting fire to the flame of Dimitri Bivol for taking up the mandatory? And I want to say there's good reason for that, even though both of these men are supposed to be medically compromised, so to speak, but why both of their situations are kind of similar, but also different. First and foremost,
Canelo's not the champion.
Anyways, first and foremost, Canelo Alvarez already said way before the IBF even made that announcement that he wasn't going to be back until September. And I understand, yeah, mandatories are basically there to put fire to the flame with champions or fighters, whoever the hell it is. And like you said earlier, Canelo Alvarez, first off, isn't the champion. So that's already one thing out there. And two, yes, even though it says mandatory, you don't have to take up the fight. It's basically saying, okay, if you don't fight, we have claim to take that belt off of you. You could very much say no. And if Dimitri Bivol is really that concerned about his back injury to not take up Beterbiev, he could have said no to the fight against Michael Eifort. But guess what? He didn't. He's more than happy to come back for a fight, which again, supposedly his back's supposed to be compromised. He's not supposed to come back until his back's fixed up, right? Why is he taking a fight? Why is he taking a fight against nobody? It's exactly a completely different case. Canelo Alvarez said he wasn't going to come back and face a dangerous opponent. No, he said he wasn't going to come back to fight at all until minimum next September. And every single time Dimitri Bivol was asked to give any sort of update on when the Beterbiev fight was going to happen, because keep in mind, that was going to be a top priority for anybody to ask. He said, well, I mean, we still got a back surgery. We don't know I'm going to be back. Canelo Alvarez said, I'm giving you a timeline. I'm not coming back until September. And that's the difference right there. That's the difference in the situation in which, yes, they're basically both the exact same scenario, exact same commission, which the IBF should be putting the fire to the flames of the asses of all these fighters. One of them took up the bait. One of them said, no matter what, I'm not coming back in September. So for anybody saying, oh, you guys are consistent, no, yes, we are. This is a complete different scenario, and Bivol is not holding up his end of the bargain as far as who gets claimed to the championship or not.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says. It's not the same scenario because, first of all, again, Canelo isn't champion. Yes, in his scenario, Canelo is technically one of two individuals at the very top now that Terence Crawford has retired. But nobody's champion in this scenario. And Canelo's saying, nah, I'm not going to. Hey, whatever. That's fine. That means you don't get shot. Someone else should get a shot at the IBF title. That being said, with Dimitri Bivol, he's the champion. And as the champion, he should defend against a guy that did the exact same thing, defended it against the number one contender. In this instance, Artur Beterbiev. So I don't want to hear anybody even come close to comparing the two issues. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Canelo Alvarez is ducking David Benavidez. See how easy it is for me to call it duck? Because I'm not biased. I have no problem calling it out. I have no problem issuing that statement to say Canelo Alvarez has outright ducked David Benavidez. It's super simple for me. The reason I'm not going to allow it in this instance either is because Dimitri Bivol is quite clearly ducking Artur Beterbiev. And my thing is, if you truly feel that you won the first fight, well, you won the second one, why not just erase all doubts and fight him a third time? Get it out of the way. Just erase it from anybody's mind. Because here's the thing. If you win, Dimitri Bivol, if you win the third fight, no one is going to ask for anything else. It's over with. It's done. The only issue is, let's call it a spade a spade. You're worried that if it goes the other way, if Artur Beterbiev beats you, no one is going to ask for a rematch, and it's beneficial. You were not the greatest in that division. Artur Beterbiev was. So you're scared to risk that. You know, for a guy like Dimitri Bivol, that he's very brash in the way that he portrays himself. He's, you know, we work hard, we train hard. That's why we're champion. We do this. We're very honorable. We're this, we're that. He carries himself very smug way, very like, I'm that guy. And that's fine. Listen, big dog, you have the championships. You're that guy. But the guy that previously beat you was that guy. And he did the honorable thing. He gave you an immediate shot. So I don't want to hear any issues. I don't want to hear anybody calling this anything less than what it is. And it's a duck So let's keep it moving. Let's call a spade, and let's be honest about the circumstances, because here, this is the most unbiased channel. Here, we address things as they are. Whether we like a fighter or not, we address them correctly here. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.